Yeah, and that's so typical of the Chinese athletes. They're always so friendly and smiling and happy on the sidelines, whether things go well or not. 15.1, a 6.2 degree of difficulty. Not the highest here, but a 15.1. A good score. Cassie Verichel now from Lyon, France. Trains at their national training center in Saint-Étienne. Saiwan Sung, a Chinese coach, works with her. Qualified 7th into this final.
Huge double layouts. Wow. Arabian double with a stuck landing. Now here's the explosion and power you were talking about, Bart.
Her best score on floor in her 2 performances here was in the qualifying round, 14.9. In the team final, she had a 14.625. Score to beat still 15.25 of Shawn Johnson. Oh, good save.
Very good save. You've noticed here, not anyone's going to be perfect, really. Not even the winners are perfect, but it's pretty much who does the best save. Who takes their mistakes and minimizes them to the fullest. Great double pike.
Nice job. Cassie Verichel, right. An unexpected pleasure there on the floor. Her coach, my good friend Nelu Pope, who is a Romanian who moved to Marseille, France. He is the husband of Adriana Pope, who does the choreography for most of the top women floor exercise performers in the world. Nelu, very happy there.
I think what set Cassie apart on this floor final was the opening pass, the double layout. Because we're seeing a lot of twisting passes.
Right.
Obviously, we've got the 3 double doubles. But this was a little different, and she did it really, really well.
We challenged our viewers to send us some positive notes about the Coda points. I got one here from Christopher Robert Langley, who says there's, first of all, more variety of skills on each apparatus. 15.125. She's going to get a medal. She's in second, and there's only one performer to go. A big moment for France.
Well deserved.
Shawn Johnson, the leader. Cassie Verichel in second. She is guaranteed a medal as we take a look at Alicia Sacramone, 2005 world champion, the 19-year-old from Boston, qualified second into the final.
Beautiful leg up double turn.
She can win this thing with a 15.325, the same score she got in the team final.
Solid first pass.
Anything more than a 15.25 would secure the gold.
Very nice Arabian double.
Yeah, she looks aggressive. I like her style because it's as if she's saying, I want this bad.
I think that's exactly why she's one of the crowd favorites in every competition she goes to. She's very unique, has nice dynamic movements. And she's always got that confident go-getter face on.
Already won a bronze medal here in the vault to go with the team gold medal in the U.S.
2.5 punch for the layout. Ooh. Well, manages to save it.
Yeah, but that could be a substantial deduction. Under-rotated. And in the last month or so, she has hit that move extremely well. That was the first time we've seen a bobble on that tricky combination from her in a long time.
It actually looked like she was very surprised.
Right.
As if she thought she had it. The floor is hard, so she underestimated it just a bit. A very nice landing.
She had a minor knee surgery following last year's World Championships. Mihai Brestian, her coach, a Romanian who moved to the United States many years ago, and he and his wife Sylvia have done a fantastic job with Alicia Sacramone. As good as she is, I even get the impression sometimes she could probably even do more difficulty. She's so explosive. Look at that.
Yeah, Alicia is super quick. A great combination of quickness, power, flexibility, and attitude.
Attitude, no question about it. That combination, it'll be interesting to see what the judges do with that. Under-rotated on that 2.5 to front layout. Shawn Johnson, the leader. Cassie Verichel. Sacramone, with a 15.225, will move into second place. So how about that, folks? It's 1-2 for the United States. And in fact, today, the American women won both events. The balance beam, Nastia Liukin gets the gold. Shawn Johnson will get the gold on the floor, and Alicia Sacramone will get silver. Cassie Verichel from France, a pleasant and unexpected bronze medal for France in a final where Chung Fei and Vanessa Ferrari took themselves out of the running because of uncharacteristic stumbles.
I'd like to thank all the fans for emailing in. We've got some great comments.
Here are the medalists. 1-2 for the United States, and the bronze to France.
Stop! Got it!
Very explosive and very beautiful technique.
There it is. There it is.
Ricardo punches it off of Fabio and out of bounds.
Warren can still win with a point, and he gets the takedown.
Picked up again. Phenompon.
Ah, what an angle for that one.
Oh, Fabrice with that running attack. Just a great match.
Beautiful dismount with an awesome stick.
Fantastic.
Both players displaying their skills back from the table. Brilliant play from Wang Hao.
WCSN brings you another defining moment from the championship corner.
And here is the guy, the native of St. Anton, 27-year-old Mario Mat. The gold medal winner at the World Championships only has to preserve a lead of half a second here, and he will win his first World Cup slalom of the season. Last World Cup slalom, he was third in Schladming. After a pair of second place finishes in Kitzbühel, and he has the lead at the split by a half second. Virtually the same margin he led by after the first run. Mario Mat winding his way to the finish line. The Austrian wins his first World Cup slalom this season by 0.4 of a second here in Garmisch-Partenkirchen.
All bets are off when Saturday Night at the Track takes the air on WCSN. See the world's best displaying the speed, skill, and focus necessary to win a world title. Whether it's on the pavement, at the track, or on the dirt, the finish line is all that matters. So forget win and place. The only show you need is Saturday Night at the Track. WCSN.com brings you the countdown to Beijing.
What a performance there.
It's going to be too close to call. And she does it.
Watch World Championships.
Unbelievable stuff here at the World Championships.
Be a part of every world record.
The new world record for the Americans.
Watch your favorite champions win medals daily. Only at WCSN.
Getting set now for the award ceremony for the parallel bars. For the men,
Third place, 16.2.
Aus Uzbekistan, Anton Fokin.
Anton Fokin wins the bronze with a very impressive routine, I have to say. High level of difficulty, beautiful flight on some of his
World champion, 16.2.
release moves on the bars. And the gold medal will be shared with Kim Dae-yun and Mitya Petkovsek. Raj, what did you think of that parallel bar final, buddy?
It was pretty good. You're going to see a lot of the same types of elements performed by a lot of these athletes, but at some point it's who does it better.
For the first place,
surprisingly enough, though, that there's a tie with this new scoring system.
It's rare now, isn't it?
I wouldn't have expected that.
We got a note here from Suzanne Lowell, who asks us, could you explain the scoring? How many scores count for the execution average? And are the start value scores added to the execution scores for the final score? Well, thank you for your note. Actually, two judges make up the A jury. Those two judges have to agree exactly on what is the start value of the routine. They don't average what they think.
Right.
They too have to completely agree on what the A score is. Then 6 other judges throw their scores in, the high and low. That's the B panel. High and low are thrown out, and the 4 scores in the middle are averaged and then added. Some people actually like this aspect of the new system because there still is a 10, theoretically. You could have a 10 in execution, and then you add on the difficulty score, and that is a combination. Something like diving, in a way. Diving has a system where you multiply the execution scores times the degree of difficulty. And in most cases, diving results are pretty accurate, I think. I've worked on some diving contests, so some viewers suggest that the gymnastics system has moved towards diving, which is an advantage, perhaps.
And it's also important to note that just like you said, the 10 hasn't completely disappeared from gymnastics. It's still there, but it's hidden in the background. And one thing that I believe needs to happen is in figure skating, you'll see after a pair or a singles does their routine, one set of scores will flash up for difficulty, and then another set for execution. And I kind of would like to see something like that in gymnastics. It would bring the 10-0 if the audience started to see a A panel start value, and then another set of scores comes up, just labeled execution, and you see 9-7, 9-6. It gives the audience a better understanding of where the routine sits in terms of that 10.0. My personal opinion, the 10.0 played such a crucial role in gymnastics and had so much marketability tied to it.
The only brand that the gymnastics really had.
Right, and I just hated to see it disappear.
Yeah, I think you're right. When you look at the scores, they're presented, it's all kind of jumbled together. An A score, a B score, and a final score. Perhaps you're right if you separated them graphically and say, here's the B panel. He got a 9.4.
Right.
Now add in the degree of difficulty, and here's the resulting score. Perhaps you're right. You would further highlight that the 10 is still available.
That's right.
And then you throw in the difficulty score, and you get the end result. So I think that's a very good point. I wish you were on the FIG technical committee, my friend.
I wish you were there as well.
You get my vote. All right. Thank you, Raj. Appreciate you being in here with us. And we'll switch now to the final awards for the women at these World Championships, and that is for the floor exercise.
Dritter Platz mit 15,125.
Third place, 15.125.
Aus Frankreich, France, Cassie Verichel.
Cassie Verichel from France. Perhaps a beneficiary of some of the other sloppy landings for Vanessa Ferrari and Chung Fei, but let's face it, folks, it's competition, and whether you are a sentimental favorite or not, you still have to hit, and that she did. Alicia Sacramone will earn the silver medal, although she seems a little bit upset.
Well, she had to fight hard for that pass, and but no, she's definitely a favorite and a great floor worker.
15.25.
From the United States of America, aus den USA, Shawn Johnson.
With a score of 15.25, Shawn Johnson comes back after a disappointment on the balance beam. But all in all, an impressive world championship for this young lady who wins a gold medal with the U.S. team, a gold medal in the all-around, and now a gold medal on the certainly most glamorous event in women's event finals, the floor.
For the first place, Dr. Michel Leglise, first vice president.
This wasn't exactly the level of competition that we expected in the floor final because of some of the stars who made some mistakes, but that is the beauty of competition, is that everyone has a fair shot, and today there's no question about the champions in this event.
For the third place, Mr. Werner Banzer, Vice President of the Swabian Gymnastics Federation.
Bitte erheben Sie sich von Ihren Plätzen für die Nationalhymne der Siegerin.
Please rise for the national anthem of the United States of America.
Well, Bart, I just want to thank everyone for sending in the emails. Those were great. The emails, the comments about what you think about the scoring system, about anything that was going on at this World Championships. In my opinion, the consensus says that the pros of the code were the variety of the gymnastics. It separates the good routine from the great routine based on a combination of execution and now especially the difficulty. The cons where there's no 10-0 to relate to, and it's hard for the audience to understand, as well as there's a higher risk of injury and no total subjective score by one judge.
Yes. Thank you for that analysis, Tasha. I think you're exactly right, my dear. That does it for the women's competition at these World Championships, but we are not done, folks. We're going to the high bar. It's going to be great.
The American, he's going to shatter the world record. Phelps, world record. Magnificent.
Back on the water. She really does rack up the tricks there.
Germany just edging ahead where it matters most. Maybe by 1 or 2 centimeters, just getting there.
They do this combination so beautifully. Look at that. Phenomenal stuff.
This is amazing. He's just won the gold medal.
So really impressive paddling by the Italian.
They look like they just did a sprint from beginning to end with not 1 second of rest.
WCSN brings you another defining moment from the championship corners.
Julia Mancuso to seal the deal now. With bib number 30 for this slalom run, 30th skier down the hill and the last of the challengers for the podium. Just needs a clean run. A solid run is going to do it. And she has the lead at the split. By 7/10, Julia Mancuso has the lead from Lindsay Kildow. If she's solid and smooth the rest of the way, the U.S. is going to have an historic day here in Zockensee, Austria. Julia Mancuso rolling the edges over. Looking balanced and smooth as she comes to the bottom of the course across the finish line, and she has got it! By only 0.06 of a second, Julia Mancuso is going to win the Super Combined in Zockensee!
Ever since the dawn of man, or shortly thereafter, men have claimed Monday night. Not anymore. It's Ladies' Night on WCSN, a Monday night tradition. Whether it's the women of downhill or the grace of gymnastics, Ladies' Night boasts the 2-for-1 special. Women in sports and the sports women love. So if you're the type of woman who'd rather cycle than shop, grab the remote because now Monday nights are for the ladies too. Ladies' Night every Monday night on WCSN. WCSN.com brings you the countdown to Beijing.
What a performance there.
It's going to be too close to call. And she does it.
Watch World Championships.
Unbelievable stuff here at the World Championships.
Be a part of every world record.
The new world record for the Americans.
Watch your favorite champions win medals daily. Only at WCSN.
Well, Raj Babzar, this place is rocking once again because it's the final event of these World Championships, and the final performer of the final event is our man Fabian Hambuchen. High bar is always awesome in the finals.
It's no reason this is last. This is one of the most dynamic events, men and women. I know audiences love watching this event. And it's actually one of the more thrilling events to do as a gymnast. A lot of excitement, a lot of fun flipping around the bar, releasing and recatching. And
there's one group of athletes when you talk about specialization. If there's one group of guys that are just a little nuts,
these guys.
These guys.
Yeah.
These are the guys that would be doing big air at the X Games.
That's right. These are the guys that walk into a gym and say, yeah, I'll chuck that, you know.
At the X Games this year, they had that big tower at the end of the vert ramp, and it was called the Huck meter. And it measured how high they came out of the quarter pipe.
I think we need one of those right next to the high bar for
Huck
releases.
meter, don't you think?
Yeah.
Huck and Chuck. Here we go. The 8 best high bar workers in the world in 2007.
Aus den Niederlanden, Epke Zonderland.
Epke Zonderland from the Netherlands, the 21-year-old from Herenveen. Alias Pagan, the 33-year-old from Ljubljana. He's one of those, you know, Tony Hawk type characters.
Exactly. Keep going. Definitely a master of this event.
Jeffrey Vams. Hisashi Mizutori of Japan. His teammate Tomita fell in the all-around final. We'll see if he can hang on today. Enrico Pozzo from Italy qualified 7th. Vlasios Maras, the 24-year-old from Athens, defending bronze medalist.
Letzter Turner in diesem Finale. Aus Deutschland, Fabian Hambuchen.
And the crowd favorite.
Letzter Turner in diesem Finale. It's the last performer in this final. Fabian Hambuchen qualified first, has the highest degree of difficulty planned, and he's got to go at the end.
Der Wettkampf beginnt jetzt.
WCSN brings you another defining moment from the championship corner.
Renata Gutschel, one of the most decorated Super G skiers of all time, doing her thing, and oh, she just knifed those turns there. No problems with the line. Skiing in pain? Well, it's going to feel real good when she crosses the line. Renata Gutschel by a full second. No question about who is the #1 Super G skier this season.
The course is set. Destination, the Four Corners, where background, stats, and stories are mapped out each week. Race and track. Over and in the water. On the snow for winter sports. And on and off the floor. Meet the athletes, get the stories, and see the action as WCSN takes you inside the sport, inside the corner. The Four Corners, where only the best need apply.
The world converges in Stuttgart for the 2007 FIG World Championships for Artistic Gymnastics. The United States, China, Romania, Russia, and the rest of the globe have their sights set on gold. Pressure, competition, and desire will make or break the best of the best. There are no second chances in Germany. Champions will be crowned and reign supreme. Join WCSN for this competition September 5th through the 9th. WCSN.
Epke Zonderland now from the Netherlands, from Heerenveen, which is a city that is more famous for producing world-class speed skaters. One of the fastest tracks in the world there in Heerenveen. But today, in the gymnastics finals on high bar, how exciting. Had a 15.45 in qualifying.
For first release element coming up there. It's called a Kovacs, and he connects it right into a Coleman. High bar is one of those events where connection bonus tenths are awarded. He will receive 2 tenths in bonus for that. And that full Takamoto looked like it had an error in it. It was maybe supposed to connect into a Yamawaki over the bar.
Tied for the second highest score in prelims. Oh! Wow!
Zipping around that thing.
Oh!
And again, I wanted to note, or let the viewers know, that judges are looking for a lot of those pirouetting type skills to finish near handstand or in handstand. For every 15 or so degrees that the gymnast is away from the handstand, will incur a deduction.
This is a tough combination.
That is a very tough combination.
You have to catch the Kovacs exactly right to set the tap appropriately for the Coleman.
So many times these gymnasts will attempt to connect their releases in competition, but what happens is they either catch a little too close or a little too far, and they end up making a split second decision not to go for it, but that's not the case here, which is nice to see.
You mentioned the handstand positions. We got an email here. Are the handstand positions on high bar as important in men's gymnastics as they are in women's? Actually, not quite. In women's gymnastics, the judges are more strict about making sure the skills finish on the top. In men's gymnastics, the skill can go a little bit past the handstand and still get full credit.
A little bit past, but what I tend to see is, because this new rule on high bar came into effect, is that trying to make high bar and an even bar is a little bit more similar in that sense. You do want to see the skills finish as close to a handstand.
6.9 for his A jury, 15.7 for Sunderland. Not a bad start. Talk about soldiers. Alias Pagan from Slovenia, qualified second, the oldest competitor in today's competition. Invented a move called a Pagan, which is the double front over the bar that Mitch Gaylord from the United States invented, but he added a half twist to it. It's called a Pagan. He's been a finalist at World Championship competition going all the way back to 1994.
And that's a good analogy, the Tony Hawk of high bar.
Okay, here comes the Pagan. The double front with a half over the bar.
that's just
Sweet.
very nice. Kicks out of that very early.
Opens up.
Smooth catch. That there was actually performed pretty nicely. Not exactly in handstand.
Half talk, a little bit past the handstand.
It's almost a rule I don't quite understand on this event because given the speed and the nature of the high bar swing, it's not likely that you want to catch some of these elements in a direct handstand. You want to be a little bit past to keep the swing going.
Triple!
Triple back.
You gotta love this guy.
It's awesome.
At 33 out there hucking that stuff. Are you kidding?
That's great. It's good to see.
Won the World Championship in 2005 in Melbourne. 11 years after his first appearance in a World Championship final. He was the silver medalist last year.
So look at that pagan. He just catches with the right amount of distance away from the bar. Not too far, not too close.
You're right. Mechanically, some of these skills, actually, it would be incorrect technique if they finished in the handstand.
That's
They
right.
just can't possibly do it.
No, exactly.
Pull those knees apart. They call that cowboying a triple back. Increases the rotation. Also allows you to see the floor a little sooner to plan your landing. A slight amount of cowboy is acceptable.
A slight amount.
Very slight.
Again, a gray area. However, you will notice if another gymnast attempts a triple back and the knees are completely apart, you encourage adjustment.
I think most of the judges sitting on the sidelines basically know that a triple is a hard move, and they give them a little bit of a break when they pull their knees apart, I think.
And 15-8 part is actually a very good score on this event.
Jeffrey Vamas now from Utrecht in the Netherlands, qualified 8th. Really known for his ability on vault and floor. Some gymnastics fans may remember that last year, in the spring of 2006, he severely broke both ankles on floor doing a double layout punch front, which nearly ended his career. So the fact that he's here this year at these World Championships is just nothing short of remarkable.
He actually trained in the United States. I trained with him for a month at Ohio State. He's improved dramatically since then. Wow, look how close his hands together on those eagle grip giants.
You look at those big shoulders, you wouldn't expect that he would be so flexible.
Right.
At a 15.225 in qualification.
Whoa. That skill was a half Takamoto. And overall, a good routine. You don't catch yourself saying wow too many times during that routine, but
right.
This is one of those routines that instead of a high difficulty will score well because of execution.
Right.
However, that step was rather large on the dismount. Take a look at it. It's a full Takamoto. And this earns connection. It's a full Takamoto is a skill similar to a Diamondov a little bit on the parallel bar.
And you're right, a big step on that landing. He's happy, and considering just a little more than a year ago, he broke both ankles. Coming down on a double-double at the end of high bar and landing it all is pretty remarkable. Gymnastics fans will remember his older sister, Gabrielle Vamas, member of the Dutch team at the 2001 World Championships in Ghent.
Again, that's a popular combination you're going to see from several of the gymnasts. The only way to receive connection bonus tense on high bar is connecting into and out of releases, release elements to release elements.
crowd as well. We entertain yourselves while we're waiting for the scores. 15-1-5 for Thomas. This Tori has had very good World Championships, qualified 4th. He won the silver medal with the Japanese team, bronze medal in the all-around in-floor exercise.
And flew out here to replace one of his fallen comrades.
That's right, Kashima.
Rose to the occasion.
Big time. His highest score, this is his 4th performance on the high bar at these World Championships. His highest score came in the team final of 15.625. Nice.
There is that full Takamoto sequence. Notice the Japanese in their execution during these release elements. Their knees are plastered together even
so
when they
hard.
catch. Right, that's very hard to do. Something that stands out among these gymnasts. That skill there was called a Zulu Min. Double, little piking in the dismount. Stuck dismount.
He's like, I'm alive! But Japan had the highest team total in high bar in qualifications. In fact, Shunko Wahara placed 8th. But there is a rule here that only 2 gymnasts per country can advance to the finals, and I think it's a good rule. It helps create sort of a geographical parity in event finals, and so Mizutori and his teammate Tomita made the finals, but it's kind of unfortunate that you're the top 8 in the world and don't get to go for a medal here. He did a lot of hard stuff.
Yes, he did.
Dreimal Kovac in seiner Übung. Zum ersten Mal gestreckt. Anschließend der Kovac mit ganzer Drehung, der sogenannte Kollmann. Den sehen wir jetzt, nachdem
Take a look at that Coleman, which is a full twisting Kovacs.
Ganzer Längsachsendrahung.